The Ford CEO, Jim Farley, has unveiled a new strategy to address what is deemed as the most significant challenge in the company's history. In a surprising revelation directly to the UAW workers, Farley discussed the dilemma faced by the automaker in deciding where to manufacture their next vehicles, underscoring one of the drawbacks resulting from the UAW strike on the company. Previously, Jim Farley had proudly emphasized the robust relationship with union workers spanning from the 1970s until the tumultuous events of the past year, 2023. Unfortunately, this shift occurred when the United Automobile Workers initiated a strike, leading to the closure of one of Ford's most profitable factories in Louisville, Kentucky, which happened to be the first truck plant affected by the strike. Since 2023, Ford has laid off more than 1,000 workers due to the significant impact of the strike on the company. So how did this happen? According to Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, the company made the decision to produce all of its profitable large trucks in the United States. As a result, a majority of the union members were employed by Ford, making it one of the Detroit automakers with a total of 57,000 union workers. When the heat of the strike hit, Ford was the first to feel its substantial consequences. Jim Farley openly acknowledged that the strike incurred a higher cost for Ford compared to any other automaker in the country, surpassing even competitors who had gone through bankruptcy and established truck plants in Mexico. The CEO admitted that Ford initially believed it was the right kind of cost. "Our dependence on the UAW led us to be the first truck plant to shut down," disclosed the Ford CEO during the conference. "Truly, our relationship has undergone a significant transformation. It has been a watershed moment for the company." Does this have a business impact? Yes. Despite Ford asserting the impact on their relationship with workers and the substantial threat to their entire business, which almost faced a complete shutdown, it appears the union remains dissatisfied with the outcomes. UAW President Shawn Fain stood firm, asserting that Ford should prioritize building the best auto industry rather than engaging in a race to lower wages. He suggested that Ford might not need to relocate factories to seek the cheapest labor globally, but rather recommit to American workers and appoint a CEO interested in the future of the country's auto industry. However, those closely following the latest news in the auto industry would have observed that Ford seems to be one step ahead of the union, with almost nothing holding them back from moving to Mexico, except for the UAW's interests, which are aligned with President Joe Biden. Biden believes that workers in the industry have the right to collective bargaining for improved wages and benefits, a stance reminiscent of the UAW's efforts. After a 6-week strike at several Stellantis, Ford, and General Motors facilities, the United Auto Workers secured substantial salary increases. In a deal extending through April 2028, top-tier factory workers are set to receive a 33% pay hike, elevating their top pay to nearly $42 per hour. Ford CEO Jim Farley cited high production expenses as one of the factors contributing to Ford's $7 billion annual cost disadvantage compared to rivals. However, he informed the conference that Ford is actively addressing this issue by implementing structural and cultural reforms within the organization to reduce these costs. In the previous year, Ford's electric vehicle division, the Model E, incurred a loss of approximately $5 billion before taxes. Ford CEO Farley emphasized that any new electric vehicle developed by the company must achieve profitability within a year of its launch, though he did not specify a deadline. Despite the challenges in the EV division, the overall business reported a net income of $4.3 billion, primarily driven by substantial earnings from its Ford Blue internal combustion division and pro-commercial vehicle subsidiary. As part of its strategic plan, Ford aims to eliminate $2 billion in costs this year. The CEO is optimistic that reducing manufacturing expenses will counterbalance the impact of the current UAW contract, which adds $900 to the cost of each vehicle during the effective period of the contract if all goes according to plan. The Ford CEO has outlined a strategic approach directing the focus of electric vehicles towards smaller, cost-effective options and work trucks, managed by a specialized team within the company. This decision is influenced by the $7,500 U.S. federal tax credits available for each vehicle in this category. While Ford has not specified the exact arrival time of these new low-cost electric vehicles, the anticipated release is expected between 2025 and 2027. However, the post-strike scenario raises questions about whether Ford will choose to produce these new profitable small electric vehicles in the United States. Despite the earlier consideration shift in production to Mexico due to lower labor costs, there's a compelling reason for Ford to stand firm. Vehicles manufactured in North America automatically qualify for the $7,500 U.S. tax credit, adding another layer of strategic consideration for the company. Jim Farley highlights the formidable competition that Ford and other automakers face from Chinese counterparts in the electric vehicle market. Chinese automakers have swiftly escalated their market share in Europe from 0% to 10% within just 2 years, posing a significant challenge for global competitors. According to Ford's CEO, the Seagull tiny electric vehicle from Chinese automaker BYD has material costs around $9,000. Achieving compliance with crash test regulations is estimated to add another $2,000, bringing the total projected cost to approximately $11,000. Despite its limitations, such as a 150-mile range in cold climates, Farley describes it as not a fantastic vehicle, but pretty damn good. Addressing concerns about the potential replacement of workers with robots in the automotive industry, companies emphasizes the expense of implementing robotic solutions. Experts corroborate that while rising labor costs are a concern, installing robots is a considerably costly undertaking, suggesting it may not be a straightforward solution for automakers.